Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. On this channel, I like to talk about ways to make money on your phone, create passive income sources, make good sound investments, and some helpful tips here and there. Today, I'm excited to bring you a great interview, so let's jump into that now. All right, we have Patrick Manfra on, the CEO and co-founder of Outlet Finance. Welcome aboard. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today.
Yeah, Paul, thanks for having me. Happy to tell you and everyone else a little bit more about Outlet and what it is that we do.
So what really led you to start this project, and kind of give a little bit of background about yourself?
Yeah, so for background on myself, I'm a serial founder. I've founded a couple of different companies in the past. And my last company before Outlet, I was building a piece of software that allowed you to honestly buy and sell anything for crypto. And this was really meant for non-crypto people. So as a founder, what led me to this problem was really wanting to introduce 1 billion people into crypto, or just investing in this alternative asset class that I was really excited about. And that's what kind of led me to building Outlet and trying to solve that problem. During this time as well, I have a co-founder, and we also share in that same problem-solving mindset, right? We both share that same vision, so it makes things a lot easier. But in terms of my background, I would really describe myself as a marketer who knows how to code. Yeah, never really worked for a big company though. So I don't have like a crazy impressive background. But from a small company perspective, I've done a lot of things and worn a lot of hats, and I've done so successfully in the past. So
Awesome. So kind of briefly describe Outlet Finance and what you're really striving to do here.
yeah. So Outlet is, we're building a one-to-one neobank, built and powered by open financial markets. And it's built for entirely for retail users, like non-investors, people that just want to. Wealthfront does a really good job of explaining what self-driving money is. I don't think it's really too self-driving. And I think there's a lot of people that really want that. So we're this really easy and simple solution for people to safely collect interest on their money. And how we do so is we work with a network of partners, and we make sure that you're really safe. We take extra precautionary measures to make one particular set of user really happy and have one singular strategy on our app currently, or financial strategy, I should say. But that's what we're doing right now. So we're building a one-to-one bank account powered by these markets.
Awesome. So you are currently providing 6% yield on all of our funds deposited. How do you really produce this?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And this is where I feel like a lot of the value is where Outlet provides a lot of value, honestly, right? So long story short, we back crypto loans. But kind of the value that we have is we make this really simple, really easy, and dumb it down so you don't necessarily need to fully understand these markets. But in essence, it really works like this. So Paul, say that you have, let's just call it rough numbers. Let's just say you have $1 million in Bitcoin, right? You want a loan against that so you can still hold your Bitcoin. Just using Bitcoin as the example as well. It could be really any crypto, just about. But cool. So Paul wants a loan, right? So how does this loan really work? And Paul gives us the million, right? Or one of our partners, this million in Bitcoin to hold. And then all of a sudden our users' money is backing this loan, right? And that comes with a certain amount of interest in doing so. So on the back end, we kind of de-risk this investment by going across several different partners and looking for certain loans that meet certain requirements that we feel are extraordinarily safe for our users.
Okay. And if I'm correct, you use USD stablecoin, like we actually put our money into USD stablecoin.
Yes, we do. So we use USDC,
Yes.
and USDC is kind of like the underlying asset of choice for us right now. I think there is a future where we sort of integrate more and provide people with like even further de-risked yield by kind of aggregating all of these solutions. But right now, USDC is the go-to. There's a couple of reasons why, but the main reason why is it is 100% backed by real dollars, and thus there is very little volatility whatsoever. So essentially, in this product, right, you just transfer money over from Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thanks, man. So essentially, right, in our product, you hook up your real bank account, transfer some money over, but in the reality, right, it hits one of our partners. We convert these funds. You don't need to understand what's really happening because it's safely done. But that conversion is from dollars into USDC, which is a stable coin. And then your interest is, and then we back these loans with this USDC, right? So in the app, it just feels, looks, and acts like dollars for all intents purposes. It practically is. But yeah, that's currently what we're using. But I do see a world where we're potentially integrating more or other stable coins within this unified rate to give people the best of both worlds and sort of de-risk them even further.
Awesome. And as far as this goes too, I get you're making this app the simplest for the person that's not really in the cryptocurrency space, but still able to take advantage of the interest in the cryptocurrency space.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep. Yes,
And
exactly.
you don't actually touch the money coming in. You have a custodian doing this work for you, right?
Yes. So right now, our main custodian is Fireblocks. So in essence, I would kind of explain Fireblocks in this situation for those non-investors, sort of like the holding company, or honestly, a custodian is a pretty common word, but all that means is really they're the ones who are holding funds when they're sitting idle in some type of like platform. That is the custodian in the situation. And our custodian actually provides us with different coverages and benefits as well. And this is like a relationship we have through other of our partners as well. So funds on our product, our platform, are de-risked in a couple ways. They're de-risked from the credit risk involved in doing so. There's also a platform risk that is de-risked by using us as well. And mainly the biggest one is probably like hacks and things like that. And that's taken care of actually by this custodian partner. So when you think about that, right, it's just about, it's the safest way that you can really interact with these markets. And we just make it really, really simple and a self-managed solution for you to have access to in a product that, you know, is likely just better than what you're currently using as your current product. So in the future, you'll be able to do things like direct deposit into Outlet. We're launching our debit card very soon, so you'll be able to use it just like an average bank account. And that's something that's like really exciting to us. But it takes a little bit to sort of get over that hump. But we're getting really close.
Okay. Yeah. Well, as you just brought up the debit card, I was going to talk about that a little bit later, but let's just jump into that. So do you see that coming anytime soon? We've seen the wait list for a while now.
Yes. So originally we had to push it back a little bit just because our partner wasn't ready for us actually. So that's been a slightly pushed back, but I do feel really confident in saying in the next 30 days or so, some users will start to get their debit cards.
Okay.
And so that's probably going to be like a combination of some of our top users. I think there's going to be some of us, you know, like different YouTube partners getting it, different people just randomly getting it as well, different kind of contests or giveaways or something, just to sort of start. We also do have the wait list, right? So those people as well. But yeah, that's kind of what we're thinking. And with this debit card will come features like a real bank account inside Outlet. You'll have direct deposit. You'll be able to completely, anything that something like a product like Chime has, Outlet will then be able to do. So that's really exciting. And then built on the 6% rail, right? It's a perfect replacement for a traditional account.
Right. So you're just kind of trying to build a whole entire ecosystem inside of Outlet in a way.
Yeah. We're looking for like, it would really excite me if, like, you know, when we steal market share from like these really large banks, that is the stuff that gets really excited to me. So that's kind of what we're going after, right? So we want to build a product that someone is going to feel is attractive enough and safe enough to actually make that switch, right? So you going from like, I don't know, just any big bank, there's a ton in America, right? Like Wells Fargo, we'll just name them. If we can get a lot of Wells Fargo customers, that would excite me. So that's the product offering that we're going for. I think right now the most requested feature on Outlet is actually direct deposit. So I know people want that as well. So it's right in line with what we want to build. And we're super happy and excited to do so actually.
So as you're saying, direct deposit will probably speed things up a little bit. As right now, how long does it take to move money in and out of Outlet?
That's a good question. So we've had some back and forth with this internally. There were points in time where things were completely instant. And the reality is things are a little bit hard right now with gas transactions on Ethereum. So things have been slightly slower, but it's really just in line with ACH transactions. So it's a 2 to 5 business days. We like to say 5 business days because it depends entirely on your bank's connection with our bank. And that might not necessarily be a 2-day thing. It could just be a 5-day for whatever reason, right? But it's within that time window as most transfers. There are situations where transfers are even slower than that. And that could be, we lost your connection with Plaid or something along those lines. But 90% of the time, it's within that 2 to 5-day business day.
Okay.
Now, at least at one point, yes, it was instant. But we want to bring that back. It's just gas fees are a little bit expensive right now.
Yes,
but we're kind of addressing this as time goes on too.
So, as most people see this, crypto has been pretty crazy lately. And you mentioned the gas fees, but going back to that, you're giving a 6% interest. Do you see this changing anytime soon?
Yeah, so I do and I don't. The reality is doing what we do for users does cost money. And with that, we're providing people with a risk-adjusted yield to go ahead and make them actually safe as opposed to really at risk, just openly investing in DeFi. And that's completely different. And it's also a different type of user that we're going after. But I don't know exactly. I do think that we can do better on rates once we have a couple partnerships that we're currently talking to kind of go through. But Outlet is kind of meant to be a steady 6% account. Okay. So we're gonna sort of be within that range at all times. But we think we're gonna have promotions and things like that will make people excited. Even if it is a steady 6%, we think we can get it to a bit higher through promotions and things like that as well.
All right. Also, going back to the loan topic, as you lend our money out to earn yield, correct? So you over collateralize loans, am I right?
Yes. All loans backed by Outlet are over collateralized. So the loans that we're looking for have a different risk criteria than possibly other platforms. So we're going after like the safest low-hanging fruits in the market, not necessarily the most yield optimized ones.
Right.
And I think that's a fundamental difference between us and other people in the market, right? But I don't think we compete with other people necessarily because we're really focused on this non-crypto person. And just making it extremely safe and just orientated for this specific type of user. So that's what we're kind of focused on. But yeah.
So on the safety topic, your total assets under management, about what percentage do you keep in reserves, not invested or not lent out?
Yeah, that's a great question. So generally speaking, most platforms keep about 20%. So when we're working with different partners, they're open term loans is what they're called. And with that, around 20% is left on kind of like on the books, I guess you could call it, undeployed capital. And essentially we follow that same suit. So it's about, it depends, right? But it's about that 20% as well, right? So that's kind of how we think of things. But based on user behaviors and a couple of different things, it could switch up slightly. Not too much variance in that, but it's right around that 20%.
All right. So do you and your team invest in Outlet just alongside us?
I do actually. Yes, we all do.
Awesome.
It's like kind of a a weird requirement in a way. If we hire you, we want you to use Outlet as like your go-to solution here.
Right.
But as we kind of roll out like these bank accounts and do things like direct deposit and have like these cool, exciting features, there's no doubt that Outlet is going to completely replace everyone on our team's complete bank account because that's what we're really out there building. And if we don't use our own product, like what good is it? So keeping that in mind, we're all pretty hardcore Outlet users actually.
Awesome.
But we're really looking forward to the direct deposit features and things like that. That will allow us to give like our entire all of our assets to Outlet, if you think of it, right? But you can also have the added benefit of a real FDIC insured account right in your Outlet app. So you'll be able to like slide to maybe select your risk tolerance or do different things like that. But it would be a complete bank account replacement at that point. And that's what we're really striving for and building towards on the retail side of our business, and what I feel like is most exciting to us right now.
Awesome. So let's jump over to the tax topic. I see that you recently added a way that we can generate statements on the app. Is that what we need for filing taxes, or is there another statement coming out for us?
So you can use that, yes. The other option that we have right now, we're actually working with all of our partners to email you directly if you are required to. So there are some stipulations with 1099s if you didn't earn more than 600. This is actually, I'm not a tax lawyer or anything, so keeping that in mind. If you do not make $600, from what I understand, you don't necessarily need to file it from a single platform, or this platform is not responsible for telling you to file it. It's something within that. But right now we're working to get more detailed reports from all of our partners. But either way, you have this in-app feature that will allow you to do so.
Okay, awesome. So kind of along the line of the same topic, as we do use USD, USD coin, stable coin, is that taxed the same way as like our dollars and the interest income we make on a traditional savings account?
So again, I don't want to necessarily be a tax guy here,
Yeah.
but you should get you should fill out this interest in a 1099 based on like the data that I have, and what we're kind of recommending customers to do is interest earned would be on a 1099 int form that you're responsible for filling out, right, yourself. So if you have other investments in other places and things like that, it would just go on this form as well, right? And it would count like dollars. But yeah.
Okay, so let's jump over back to the app. And I recently saw that you added a collectibles tab. Can you tell us a little bit more what that's all about?
Yeah, I definitely can actually. Yeah, we're excited about collectibles. So right now we kind of want to a bit reinforce like what it is that we're doing as a team and a community. So we have the first collectible is actually just joining our Discord, and we give you a skin where your app turns a little bit more purple to match kind of the Discord colors. So that's sort of the first play we're having in this. But in the future, we actually want to have like different unique drops within the app. So the first drop that we want to do right around the time where our debit card goes live is what we're calling the golden button. And the golden button is essentially, think of it almost like a piece of armor in a video game, how like a piece of armor in a video game has like +5 strength or whatever. This golden button is a deposit button, and all money that you put on when you have the golden button earns an extra 0.5, or for example, just like a rough number. So that's kind of what we're thinking, and we're kind of teasing that out right now. But in the future, that will be a totally live thing. You can collect your first collectible by going to our Discord and just talking to our Discord bot. That'll automatically give it to you. And the next one we're working on is actually a product hunt launch. So similar to the Discord one, we will eventually be launching on Product Hunt. We're actually looking for someone to hunt us right now. But essentially, you would do kind of the same thing, right? You help us out on Product Hunt a little bit. Your app would get this special orange or something along those lines to kind of reflect that you did this. And it would just reinforce our community. But in the future, we really want to introduce like this more armor, like I guess like utility in the app, right? Like a button should do this, something special, as like, because I shared us on this or did something over here, right? You get certain unlocks within the app is kind of what we're teasing out and kind of thinking with that. But right now it's sort of just this fun thing that if you want to talk to us on Discord and see more of like what we're up to and things like that, you should be rewarded for it, right? Like, thank you for going out of your way to genuinely see what we're doing and working on. And we want to reward that experience, right? Like a big value of ours is seeing how much value we can give to customers. And I think there is value in the Discord alone, but sometimes it takes a little bit of a hurdle or something to get you over the hurdle, right? And we think right now it's just the low lift skin, but in the future it'll be things like an extra 0.5 on every deposit you made this month for some reason, or whatever it might be, right? Maybe 2x experience this weekend, or 2x interest this weekend or something like that. But kind of playing around with like different things because of these skins, right? These skins should be live and interactive within the app and these collectibles. I'm sorry, but that's kind of like roughly kind of the game plan around the collectibles and what it is that we're thinking. Just a fun way to engage with our audience and make the app more customized to you a little bit.
Awesome. So not just customizing, but also, the possibility of adding on interest. So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it could be interest. It could be like, we'll come up with other fun things, I'm sure. Maybe even just like a lump sum or something. Kind of being like luck of the draw, like 100 outlet users this month are going to get the gold button or something like that. Just kind of having fun with it, and generally like helping our audience where we can. I feel like is a huge benefit to it, right? And keeping us all really tight knit to understand like the value here, and like you engaging with us brings you more of that value. So that's kind of like what we're thinking about with it. But generally speaking, I would love to see anyone in the Discord. We're in it all the time. So if you guys want to talk about outlet or investing or anything, just jump on by,
Awesome. So yeah, you're really like trying to gamify this, like really bring people in and interact, not just stick your money in there and watch it.
Yeah, exactly. So we're looking for people to kind of like, be enlightened by the people who are also using it, right? Because everyone's here for the common mission of earning more money or figuring that out, right?
Right.
And how do we as an organization help empower people to do so? And I think like a low-hanging way to do that is just through this community, right? And this community, as it becomes more tight-knit, we'll have a better relationship with our customers, we'll have better feedback for what we need to build next in the app, to make sure that we're providing as much value as we can. So I just think it's a good benefit for honestly everyone, but it's no pressure. You're not missing much or anything. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to cover that as I saw it pop up. So right now you only have a mobile app, correct? There's no desktop version.
Correct.
Do you see
Yes,
that
yes.
coming in the future?
I do. Yes, we will have a desktop version of the app. I don't have an exact time frame on that. There's some things that we're working on, such as like the bank accounts and things like that. That is sort of a higher priority to us at the moment. But a desktop version of Outlet will inevitably be coming out. Yes, sometime in 2021.
Awesome. Okay. So I pretty much covered everything I was really looking to ask you today. So in closing, is there anything that you can kind of give us a sneak peek on that you didn't talk about?
So I guess in terms of a sneak peek that we didn't talk about, we're really excited to actually do a really big rebuild of the entire mobile app, actually. So right now, I feel like it's a very basic product almost. I think going forward with this entire rebuild of the product, people are going to find it much more enjoyable to use. I think they're going to be more excited to engage with us. I think it's going to look like a much more trustworthy brand. I think people are going to be genuinely excited to see the difference between Outlet, V1 of this app compared to V2. And we're working with some really, really top-notch professional people to do this. So we're super excited and just keen to launch that. And that should be coming out with some of our other features as well, like this bank account, et cetera, that will really redo a lot of the products. So for these past couple of months, we've sort of just been fundraising, looking for our core group of investors who believe in this mission as well. We're happy to announce actually that we have found that core group and we're moving forward. So we're going to be taking on some money, growing out our team, and doing out a lot of things that we need to do to hit the scale that we need to get at to honestly be a huge company. So that's sort of what we're doing and what we're focused on. I'm really excited for the bank accounts though. I'm super excited for anyone to direct deposit right into our accounts, and you yourself can make the choice if you want to earn 6% and be enlightened and be plugged into this new world through Outlet or not. So yeah, that's kind of like in a nutshell, where we're going, sort of like thoughts behind the business and things like that.
Okay, I did want to cover one more thing.
Yeah.
We did cover a lot of safety and how you are protecting your money, but how exactly as our money isn't protected by FDIC insurance, what is keeping our money safe?
Yeah. So I touched on it a little bit before, but there's a couple risks anytime you earn interest, right? I think that is a misbelief that there is like a risk for yield. There's always something, even though it's very small, there's always something. And what Outlet does a really good job of is really mitigating those risks, right? Like
Right.
we are the risk management solution. And part of like this rebrand that we're kind of doing, it is also going to be our website too, is going to be completely redone, and really reflect what I'm saying a bit more, because I feel like we do a poor job of communicating the exact value here. So some of the value that we really provide is there's three major risks involved in these type of lending markets. There's credit risk, there's platform risk, and then there's just like this other complete bucket, which goes really deep depending on which and what you're doing in this space, but it's kind of like this electronic hacking type of risk, right? And we mitigate all three, right? So we really feel like we're the safest platform and way to access DeFi or open finance for anyone in a product that just makes sense and fits in with normal people's lives. So to touch on how we're kind of de-risking assets, we have insurance on this electronic hacking aspect. And that is done through all of our partners and our custodian as well. So it's underwritten by our custodian. But basically, that part of the risk spectrum is taken care of by them. The next part of the risk spectrum is really the single platform risk, as well as the credit risk of a single platform. So when you spread that across the entire industry, right, you're left with a basket of assets, or you're left with a single asset, which is USDC, sitting in a basket of platforms and locations, right? So we're specifically not going to put all of your funds in one platform, which is a foolish idea when you're going after, our product is meant for you to use as a bank, right? Or as something like that. So basically, there's the hacking aspect, there's a credit profile risk, there's a single platform risk. Those are the main three that we really risk mitigate against. And those are also the real big three involved in using this type of market, right, to earn a yield. So that's how we make it really simple for someone who doesn't know anything about anything investing or whatever, and kind of bring them onto us and do things really safely and seamlessly for them. You know, so we're sort of this perfect product for someone who doesn't care to invest, who doesn't want to know, etc. And there's about half of America that does not want to invest or does not invest, period. Those are the people who are really trying to build for. But I also think like there's a ton of this investor audience that just wants a higher interest bank, especially in this low interest rate environment. So that's kind of who we're for and why we feel comfortable saying what we do and who we are, right? So there's a lot that goes into this from a risk management standpoint. We're also bringing on some really impressive people to help us manage risk too. So that's really what we do, and a lot of the value we provide is actually on the risk management part.
Awesome. Yeah, we went from, a couple years ago making 2.5% on some of these high yield savings accounts in the banks down to practically nothing. And then you guys come along and offer us 6%, and at some points was even higher. And people are like, this can't be true. Like, what's the catch? So
totally. See, so like,
yeah, it's
I guess
awesome.
there are some catches in a way, right? It's not FDIC insured account, but you have companies like ours kind of creating this next best solution for FDIC for these normal people to use this type of a product, right? And so we're sort of taking a lot of this market share in the US right now. I would say we're market leaders in this. And yeah, man, we're just growing pretty steady and we're super happy. Indirectly, it's horrible to say, but super happy that interest rates are low because it gives us the chance to really succeed. But yeah, for better or worse, interest rates are what they are, and there's always going to be like a better solution somewhere, so it's fine if you invest in one solution to the next. It's just it's up to certain people, but I do think there's a lot of room in a bank account situation for you to actually earn more interest. Like people just have money sitting in their bank at any point in time, right? Myself included. I invest all the time, myself included though. I always have money in my bank account, even if it's a couple of bucks. So why not collect interest on that, right?
Right.
From a retail standpoint, I think that's like a massive value. So
yeah, so you're an alternative savings account, like, so that's important for people to know that you're not an actual traditional savings account. But at the same time, though, FDIC insurance really doesn't protect us as much as a lot of people think it does. So.
Yeah, I also agree with that too. I actually, getting into this, I was Googling this forever ago, and it was like FDIC insurance claims only paid out like twice in the past 10 years or something. It's like, come on, how safe could it be? I agree, there's a level of it, like, do you really need it? But it's like, not as great of a product as everyone might think.
Yeah, you look at their balance sheet, they don't even have enough to cover any of the major banks if they went under. So
That's actually a very good point too, right? And I agree with you on that. It's like almost misleading, you know. So it's interesting, and I feel like people now, there's enough choice in the world where people can make up their own mind as to what makes sense for them and why. And it's exciting that we're living in that type of time in fintech and in the world.
right. Yeah, so really your job, my job, and everybody's in this space is to show people that these are not, it's not a trick. Like it's really there. People can earn interest. The banks could be paying us this, but
They could.
yeah, but they're just paying it, they're shareholders and patting their own pockets. And the crypto community is really finding ways to give it back to us, the user. So it's awesome what you guys are doing.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you. I totally agree with that as well. I mean, there are institutions that could totally give you way more yield or do whatever to make you more money as like a user. But it's not a core value all the time. Whereas I feel like it is a core value in us, you know. We want users to be safe and make as much money as possible, our entire business. So I just think it's like taking another generation to really see that through, you know. I think banks are old and they're becoming dinosaurs, and I think these new types of businesses are gonna really take over in the next like 10, 20 years. Like it's gonna be like this moment, right? Like I can't believe we didn't wear seatbelts at one point. It's gonna be like, oh, I can't believe these big banks just like did whatever they want. So that's how I kind of think about things, right? And it's just really exciting times. So I would definitely encourage anyone, if you haven't already, maybe just try the Outlet app yourself. Actually, I can. I'll have a link for Paul if you guys want $5 on it. Go ahead, use the link. It'll be I promise it's a pretty good experience once you're all through it. So yeah.
So for everybody else though that's watching this, I have been using the Outlet app for almost a whole year now, and I've been completely happy with it. And we've had some kinks here and there as far as the application, but it's gotten a lot better, and I think it's very clean right now. So
thank you. Yeah, touch on that. That's like, I guess, the last thing. Yeah, we definitely had some issues when we first started, first launch, but we're still a small startup. We're taking on a ton of money now, very soon. So the team will be entirely built out. We'll have all the account managers we really need to support everyone, and do things like that. Otherwise, we're pretty difficult for the level of users we had, for the level of team members we have, and things like that. So we're super excited to even do that now. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's all I have for you. I appreciate you giving us your time and telling us a little bit more about Outlet.
Thanks, man. Yeah, Paul, always a pleasure, man. We'll have to catch up some other time.
Definitely. All right. I'll see you. So let's run through opening an account and adding money to Outlet Finance. So click on the box in the bottom right-hand corner. From here, you can manage your bank account, add your bank account. So let's add an account. And they work with the Plaid system. So hit continue, and you can search your bank and see if your bank is accepted. So after adding your bank account, you can scroll all the way down. You'll have to upload all your documents. You will have to go through the KYC process, which is know your customer. You're going to have to supply your social security number, a picture of your license front and back, a selfie, as well as upload your proof of address, which is going to be some sort of bill, electric bill, mortgage, whatever has your name and your address on it. So after you go through all that and you're ready to add money to Outlet, you're going back to the home page and we're going to deposit. So let's put in $100. Deposit, and it tells you it may take up to 5 business days to credit to your account. Confirm. Money is on its way. It is that simple, everyone. So if you want the easiest way to take advantage of the cryptocurrency space without really having to learn the space in depth, Outlet Finance is probably your best bet to earn 6% interest for legitimately doing nothing but moving your money from your bank over to Outlet. So I'm going to wrap up the video. If you like what you saw today, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I make videos in the future. And if Outlet seems like the right account for you, then give yourself a raise. I'll see you next time. A few videos popped up to your left and right. If one of those perked your interest, give it a click.